He has like layers to him that people who love him or know him kind of get introduced to over time. He's like an onion. I hate onions, but we'll use the onion metaphor.
Our first official date was to see La La Land.
We did go see La La Land together. And I kind of considered that a date, which is why I sat in such a way that he couldn't try and hold my hand, because I wasn't there yet for it.
It was a lot of fun. I don't remember much of the movie because I was so focused on trying to hold his hand, but that never happened. We would drive up to Liberty Mountain.
It was in my car in a Zone 5 parking lot overlooking Liberty University.
Yeah, that was kind of our place to go, and that was where we had our first kiss.
We've had the privilege of leading to the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ many, many homosexuals. I can think of pastors now in the pulpit who are heterosexual, living normal lives, who came to us, first of all, as practicing homosexuals. We introduced them to the gospel of Jesus Christ. They were born again. Their lifestyles were changed. We trained them, educated them at Liberty Baptist College, and now at pastoring churches. So there are hundreds and thousands of former homosexuals who've been saved by the grace of God, but we are not really showing a loving...
My friends at that point were almost exclusively evangelical. Most of the friends I had at that time are no longer in my life. A couple of my closest friends are, but for the most part, none of them were okay with the conclusions that I came to.
I remember in a theology class, one of the paper options was about homosexuality and the arguments that we could come up against it, and it was painful to write it, but at the same time I just saw it as something that was going to pass and I would get the grade and move on. All that BS. I got in trouble for being with a gay student. I went in, had to do 75 hours of pastoral counseling to convince me I'm not gay and that I'm just messed up and that I need some sort of change in my life from a higher being. And they have that all on my record, and they always told me that if I did anything else, that they would send it to my parents and that it would be on my record forever. His ability to listen and, I don't know, be there for you when you need someone that's just unlike anything. Like, better than my mom, who is a therapist.
He gives a lot and doesn't ask for really anything in return. And he was always that way when we were dating too, because I would stay with him and it was within his understanding of how he should live that he should like help provide for me, which he didn't have to do, but he did.
I remember going to Sunday school when I was younger. My parents started churches, and so we were a very big part of church, but we would talk about sin and death at such a young age, and it was just, they didn't give us space to be kids, and I felt the pressure to be very Christian and be on top of all the things that I need to be. My dad would make sure that I knew all the answers to what people would probably ask me, and that I just wanted me to know everything.
When I was really young, the very first High School Musical came out, and I was with my mother in Target, and I saw a pair of girl slippers with Zac Efron's face on it, and I could not look away. But we grew up in a little farming town with really small schools in Millington, Michigan, and our small little world was not a diverse community at all. I wasn't exposed to much beyond the evangelical white Christianity that I knew. It was in high school that I finally kind of started to come to terms with the fact that I was just attracted to other guys. And in college, after kind of suppressing those feelings for a long time, I realized that I couldn't not deal with it anymore.
I was actually outed in high school. Someone found my Tumblr account. There really wasn't any space for conversation, which was very hard. I was a worship leader in school, and so everyone knew me. It's not like I could just hide. It felt like everyone was confronting me.
I think I did want to tell my family, but I didn't know enough about how I was feeling to know how to tell them. So I kind of kept it to myself, but I didn't really say like I'm gay. I just said I'm attracted to other guys. And I left it open to the idea of being attracted to women or other girls in my class. And for a while, that's what I believed was possible. I don't think it was until my sophomore year of college that I was willing to say I'm gay and actually mean that. When I was finally saying I'm gay, it wasn't out of an understanding that I was okay with it. It was an understanding that like it's okay to use this identifier, but in practice, you're not going to be in a relationship. You're going to live a celibate life in church ministry and somehow leverage this to divine intentions. That this was the way to be holy and live a life that was worthy of my calling. This alternative of how you are is actually shaping everything you're doing, your relationships, how you see yourself, how you see the world, how you interact with people, your preferences, the many layers of that.
Maybe once or twice I've been called a faggot. So, but I think it wasn't until I had my HRC sticker in my car, that's when things kind of got worse. People would post pictures online on social media and try to find out who was driving that car and stuff. Yeah, that's when I was concerned.
First day I was done with Liberty University as a residential student in May of last year, and it felt like I was finally resting. It felt like I had exhaled, and everything was just kind of gone, and it was done, and I could breathe again.
I spent the morning at a bar drinking because I didn't want to walk sober and pretend like I was happy, because I really wasn't. I didn't even end up walking. I just gave up by then. But I felt relieved to an extent. I was very happy that it was over. But at the same time, I felt sad because I felt like I wasted so much of my life there.
I was very fundamentalist about the Bible and Scripture and what I believe about the world. And then just being, it's kind of like having a pebble in your shoe of just the uncertainty. I was realizing that my sexuality was informing every part of who I was. Which sounds really foolishly simple, but in a heteronormative environment, it's just assumed. You don't think about it. You just think that everyone is the same way, and you realize you don't fit that mold. I began to see that if there wasn't going to be space for me, I'm going to make space for me. Just take a moment to acknowledge what's going on in our world and to give that space to just be, and for us to kind of give a moment of stillness for it. And then I needed an internship my senior year of college, and this is one of the churches that I loved, and I was brought on staff.
Thank you. Sure. Do you need one of us?
Oh,
Good.
I love your green.
I see a little green in your...
Well, thank you. Whoever, whatever you are, whatever you believe, you're welcome here. I don't have necessarily ambitions for our future other than that we are safe, we're together, and that we're happy. And that we're excited to wake up every day and be on this adventure together.